Good morning, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. On today, I'm going to be showing you guys how to take your measurements for your custom garments or any type of garment that you want to know your measurements. The first thing I want to let you know is whenever you're taking your measurements, you always want to add 1 to 2 inches to your garment, to that particular measurement, so that once you get ready to cut that measurement out, you have enough for your seam allowance, and you would have enough ease once you sew it together, and everything will fit properly. Uh, then you still have a little room to make any adjustments to take in if you want to. If you wanted to fit it a little bit more fitted, a little bit more tailored to you, then you still have room to do so. So the first measurement we're going to take is the neck measurement. The neck measurement. So you take him. Get it closer to you so you can see. I always start from the back. And I come around. And right at that point, the point on measurement is 12. But you want to go out. For the neck, I would say about an inch. You don't go no more than an inch on the neck because you don't want the neck hole to be too big. Okay? The next measurement I'm going to show you is the shoulder. I go from shoulder point to shoulder point. So it's this like this. Okay. The shoulders on this one is 17. So we've done the neck measurement and the shoulder measurement. Now you can also do the torso measurement. I don't normally do the torso as much, but you can do the torso, which is at the nape of the neck and right at the point of the back. So 14. And you don't necessarily have to add any inches. Let's see. Yeah, you can add an inch to it because if it's going to be attached to anything, you add an inch. Therefore, you'll be able to connect it to a pair of trousers or a skirt, and you will still get your proper length in your torso. Now, we're going to get the bust measurements. And the bust measurements, you always want to get right across the center of the bust, right here, straight across. So you come from, if this is a woman and you have on a bra, you want to go from the bottom part of the back of the bra to the center of the bust. So you go from, that's the back. If you can see, that's where you go with your back. And you come around. It's a little slippery on this mannequin here. Okay. So this mannequin, it's a little slippery. This mannequin's measurements are 32. But for your ease, you can take it out an inch, which will make it 33. Now, you've done the neck, the shoulders, the bust. Now, you can do from, I say, from nip to nip. That will give you where your darts will be placed. So this one, from nip to nip, is 6. So that you know that your darts need to be 6 inches apart. Okay? So now, your highway. So as you can tell, this mannequin has a very long upper body for some reason. She's very long upper. So your high waist is considered 2 inches above where your belly button is. 2 inches. Okay, so now you can get your high waist measurements. Point on, her measurements are a 26. But if you let it out an inch, 27. Now, you want to drop down to your natural waist. Your natural waist is typically right at the belly button. So, and a lot of people say that your high waist, is the smallest part of your waist. So but typically, so that means it'll be way up here, which will still make it 26 because this is a mannequin. Okay, now we're on the natural waist. The natural waist sits right at the curve, right at the dip of the hip. So her measurements would be, her natural waist is 27. 27 for the natural waist. Okay? So you got the neck, the shoulders, the bust, the nip measurements, the high waist, the natural waist, and now we will do the hip measurements. And of course, we all know the hip measurements are the widest part of your hips, from the widest part of your hips, and to give you this, your waist measurements typically 8 to 9 inches apart from your waist to the from your high waist or your natural waist is 8 to 9 inches to the center of your hips. So you already know, because that's how I get my cuts, because I don't use patterns, so I have to know how many inches your waist is from the curve of your hips. So therefore, I can get the proper cut, because I don't use patterns on my skirts at all. Okay, now we're going to get the hip measurements. Okay, the biggest part of the hips. The biggest part of the hips. And her hips are a 39. 39. So, because right at the hips is where the area you're going to add most of your, you're going to add more inches because of the hip area, and because that's, you have your zipper. So therefore, I will add 2 inches to the hip. 2 inches. From the hip to the waist, add 2 inches. But it's gonna be 2 inches all the way down anyway, because it's one piece. Now, say if you were getting measured for a pair of pants. Well, first let me do one more for the skirt. Skirt measurement. Now, if you were getting a pencil skirt, you would measure from the waist to the knee, which would give you 22 inches, so you would make it 23 or 24 for your seam allowance. Now, depends on how tight you want it around your knee. I always get that measurement as well. That may be something that I do just for me, but 25. Normally, your measurement of your waist will be the same measurement for your knee. Typically, the measurement for your waist, if your measurement is 26, this would be anywhere in that area. It may be 20, it may be 25, or it may be 27, but it's normally in that range of your waist measurement. Okay? And the same thing, if you were going to measure for a short fitted skirt, you would do the same side measurement to the knee. Or if you're going to do it for a long skirt, you would do it from the waist to the floor. And if she's wearing heels, you want to add as many, however tall her heels are, you want to add that many inches to her length. because nobody wants a skirt where if it's going to be long, you don't want your shoes to show. And if you're going to do short, there is knee length. There is a midi. Midi is right here at the calf, or it's long. Anything right here at the ankle, that's not really flattering. Okay. Now, if you are getting measured for a pair of trousers, you would take those same measurements from the waist to the hip. Now you would add the widest part of your thigh. And her thigh is 22 and a half. So you would add 23 and a half. And then, of course, it's going to come back in. Now, you will take the inseam. And normally, it's right there in the crouch. And most women pants now, they are right at the ankle. And they're fitted. So, her inseam is 30. Her full length, is 40 inches. Okay, so you have the neck, the shoulders, the bust, the high waist, the natural waist, the hips, the thigh, the around the knee. You have the full length, you have the short length, you have the midi length. One more. This is for a dress or whatever, if it's a one piece. I always go from the shoulders straight across the bust to the belly button, or 2 inches above the belly button, to get their shoulder to waist. Shoulder to waist measurement, 16. The average woman shoulder to waist is anywhere from 16 to 20, depending on the size of the bust. The bigger the bust, the longer the length would be, even though you may be the same height. But if your bust is bigger, that means that you have to allow for that, the circumference of the bust. So you have to allow for that. So that's so, as you can tell, this one is a little different because this torso is super long. Hers is right at her natural waist is 20 inches. So, okay. So, thank you all for watching. I've showed you all how to take full measurements, minus these. And normally a woman's arm is about 23, 24 inches long. Their biceps are normally 10, 12, on the average size, 10, 12, 13 inches around. You always want to make sure when you measure the bicep that you do it this way. You straighten the arm out, and you ask that person to make a muscle that allows for when they bend the arm. So with me, my arm is a 16. So you know to make that 17 and a half inches. So once again, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Easy way of getting the measurements with Lavish Swag. And remember to like and subscribe to our channel. And we'll see you all soon.